What's up guys, welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding. And today it is time for a shoulder workout. And it's going to be pretty simple because a lot of people like to use complicated exercises, but I like to stick to the classics, but sometimes with a twist. But I'll talk about that a little later. First, we start off with the military press, and very important for me personally, as I see Arnold doing this as well in the past, is going down all the way. This is exactly why he invented the Arnold presses with the dumbbells, which come from him, stretching the front delts out even more. So on this straight barbell, you want to go down as much as you can, at least below 90 degrees. But for this you do need to have flexible shoulders. So in between sets, which isn't shown, but I like to do shoulder stretches, and I made a video about that actually, which you can see on my channel. Fixing your shoulders if you have any shoulder injuries or shoulder pains, which I used to have, especially on this military press, but now I just do them in between sets if I ever feel my shoulder and the pain is gone. But as you can see, I let the bar drop right below my chin, stretching out even the upper pecs a little bit, as you can see, because it's a front delt but also an upper pec exercise. So making sure that your form is correct will ensure the best results. And usually I don't like to focus a lot on the front delts. In the past I didn't even do any military presses, but I have come to realize that if I want to be a complete bodybuilder, nowadays you do need all three heads of the shoulders to be dominant. So if my front delts look too big, I simply need to increase my chest, but I cannot stop training the front delts. But what I do like to do is keep it simple, as I said before. So first I did the military press, and to really put a lot of weight, a lot of stress on those muscles. But then I like to do an isolation exercise to exhaust the front delts completely, because this exercise takes the chest and the triceps out of the movement, which is what you want when you're isolating a specific muscle. And I like to do a lot of volume with this as well, 10 to 15 reps for each arm, which makes the set last pretty long. And then the next exercise is the side lateral raise. My rear delts and my front delts are stronger points compared to the side delts, and honestly the side delts can never really be big enough, especially when you're a tall guy. You don't want to look thin and tall, you want to look wide. Especially on stage, you want to look wider than the smaller guys, and for me that is a priority because I want to do good on my next competition, which will come up in a few months actually. More information will come soon. But to the point, right now I'm doing side level raises to improve the side delts, and I'm actually starting out with 25 reps on the first set and then going down 5 reps each set until I did 4 sets. And that is quite a lot of volume to hit the side delts with. But then I'm not done. No, it is time for the wide grip upright rows. And the difference between this one and a regular upright row is that this one actually targets the side delts, because if you look at my arms, it's like I'm doing a side level raise with the bar with 2 arms at the same time. And that is what you want to feel when you're doing the exercise. And the last part of this workout concerning the shoulders is we're training the rear delts, actually. The rear delt rows. And I like this exercise a lot because you don't have to focus on anything but your rear delts. I wish the grip was a little bit wider though, because it's not wide enough for me, but I can still use the mind-muscle connection to really contract the rear delts and to really make them fully pumped with fresh blood. And one important thing and aspect about training shoulders, because it's a small muscle group, you don't want to go super heavy. I like to do volume on shoulder day. Why? Well, as I said, it's a small muscle group, especially the side and rear delts, so I like to rush in as much blood in there as I can, stretching out the muscles as much as I can, because stretching it out, stretching the fascia around the muscles promotes hypertrophy. And when you do this, you actually increase your mind-muscle connection. You make sure that you hit that muscle and not other muscles helping you with the heavy weight. And most importantly, you can keep your form right. Because when training delts, it's all about the form, especially for example on this one. The rear delt flies. If you move your elbows a little bit backwards, it kind of turns into a side lateral raise, and that is what I see a lot of people do when it becomes too heavy. They start to change their elbow position or arm position to make it a little easier, and then the stronger part of the delts will take over, and that is not what you want to do. And then the last exercise, some barbell shrugs. I like to go pretty heavy. 5 sets of this went up to about 220 or 240 kilos. Going all the way up and all the way down, full range of motion. Alright, that was a shoulder workout, and now I'm going to show you a meal that I usually make. I'm always using different cooking techniques and finding out what's most delicious yet nutritious, because I love to cook myself, but I like to use simple techniques as well. So I'm about to show you what I like to do with my fish, for example. So right here I have my stir-fried vegetables cooking away with a little bit of coconut oil and some Cajun spices. And this is some water already being heated up right here. And it's about a couple of centimeters high, just high enough for the fish to go in. And it doesn't matter whether it's frozen or fresh, but basically this technique is poaching, because what we're going to do is we're going to keep the gas pretty low. It's going to boil in a couple of minutes, but we're going to add to the water, for example, some soy sauce and some garlic powder. You can also add some Cajun spices or any spices that you like, because whatever you put in here, the spices will be absorbed into the fish. So let me show you right now. What you want to do right now is add the spices to the water. So let's add a few garlic powder grains and a little bit of the soy sauce right here. If I can open it with one hand. Oh, there we go. A little old, but hey. I'm going to add a little bit of that to here. Just like that. And you don't have to be very careful, because not a lot will be absorbed into the fish, and it won't be any calories, and you don't have to use any fat at all. And then you just mix it up like this. As you can see, the water is starting to evenly distribute all the flavors into it. And once that is done, you carefully add the fish to it, like that, and like this. A little bit easier. Alright, basically what happens right now is the fish is slowly cooking, and the spices that are in the water will be absorbed into the fish, and that is called poaching. Basically letting the water act as a fluid to extract the herbs from into the fish. And right here we've got the vegetables, to which I will add my basmati rice stir-fried together, and I will show you the end meal in just a second. So I added the basmati rice, about 225 grams. This is about 200 grams of fish, by the way. As you can see, it starts to boil, and this is how I usually cook my meals. Otherwise I will put it in the active fry, but it's occupied at the moment, so you use a frying pan to stir fry your meals. And never forget to add the spices to make it even more delicious. So this is usually what I do, adding about this amount Cajun spices and some turmeric, because I just love the yellow color of it. It makes it tasty, and it's actually a good antioxidant as well. And then what you do is stir fry this meal until it becomes a beautiful creation. So this is what it looks like stir-fried, the rice with the vegetables and the herbs. It's pretty much done right now. And this is almost done as well. Barely takes 5 minutes, even when it is frozen, because once it starts boiling a little bit, it will go really fast. Much faster than steaming. However, I do like steaming a lot as well because it is easier in terms of just putting in water, putting in the fish, turning it on with the timer, and kaboom, and it's fresh fish, especially when you put the timer right. Don't do it too long, don't let it overcook, then it will be delicious. But the reason that I make meals like this is because I had to do a lean bulk of 5 to 6,000 calories. Now I did gain quite a lot of quality muscle, but right now I'm taking a little break, so I'm going down to 5,000 high day, 4,000 low day of calories. But during the high days, what I needed to do is eat a lot of meals. So you might as well make it tasty, because 6,000 calories is kind of the limit where I say, okay, I cannot really eat much more than this. It was pretty difficult to eat all of that, so that is why using techniques such as poaching, putting flavor into your proteins, and stir frying your rice and your vegetables with herbs, especially the herbs and the spices, guys. Don't forget to use them when you have trouble eating enough food. Because if it's delicious, you want to eat more. You're hungry faster. Your brain simply recognizes it as something that you should get into your system because, well, evolutionary speaking, when something tastes good, it usually, well, tells your body, okay, this has a lot of energy, a lot of sodium, something like that. Something that you could use in the outside, in the survival world. But yes, that's why I do this, to make it delicious so I can eat plenty of food. Right, this is the end result of the meal. As you can see, the stir-fried vegetables and rice are on the bottom and the fish is on the top. You can't really see much different about the fish because I used garlic powder and a little bit of soy sauce. But you can see that the color isn't as white as usual and that it soaked up the flavors. And you can even smell that it is different than usual. So I'm going to enjoy this meal, very nutritious meal, right now.